أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله قال الله تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون وقال تعالى يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا وقال تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يؤت الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. All the praises and thanks be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sustainer of the universe, and blessing and salutation to the most distinguished of the messengers and the foremost among all the Anbiya Karam, all the Prophet. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have khusus and blessing on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, on his wife, on his companions, on his children, and all the righteous people who passed in the past, who among us, who are going to come. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of them, inshallah. Ameen. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. أما بعد. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد ولا تيأسوا من روح الله إنه لا يئس من روح الله إلا القوم الكافرين. صدق الله العظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is my topic today, inshallah, for the khutbah. Allah says, do not lose hope in the mercy, in the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In fact, only the kafirin, only the infidels lose hope in Allah's mercy. So, in the context of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, don't lose hope. Never ever lose hope. If in the mercy, in the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If someone ever lose hope in the mercy, in the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is equal to you're doing the kufr. This is a kufr to lose hope. And today, inshallah, I'm going to talk about this. So people sometimes have some calamity struck to them, or they're going through some kind of disaster or any trouble. They have maybe their health is in problem, their health problem, they may be having financial problems, they may have some other issues going on. As you can see, there is a lot of other people in the world, mashallah, subhanallah, they are going through so much of a trouble. Palestine, Kashmir, Iraq, Iran, Libya, you name it. People are going through trouble. But the one who does not lose hope, Allah, they will inshallah receive the mercy, rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah turns the desperation of their whatever is temporarily, it's always temporarily. This is because of the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah wants to test everyone according to their wasa. And sometimes it's a plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah puts the whole home, whole country, whole nation, whole community into some sort of biggest trouble. So the best will come out of them. And the one who does not lose the hope in the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah flips that whatever they are going through into one of the greater of the victory. In Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has shown so much of examples to us. In Surah Yusuf, the ayah what I recited from the ayah what I recited, this is from Surah Yusuf. And I would encourage myself and all of us to go back and look for the tafsir of that, what that means. This is a small ayah, but it has a great story behind it actually. Surah Yusuf, if you remember what happened to Yusuf alayhi salam. His own brothers betrayed him, with the exception of one, little one. When they were about to throw him in, they took him out and they said, okay, just get rid of him. That was the greatest of the test for Yusuf alayhi salam, for his father as well. But what happened? Except the little one, they all were ready to get him killed or whatever, or throw him in front of animals, whatnot. So anyway, so he suggested, well, you're gonna get rid of him anyway, so why not throw him in the well? And he will die with hunger and snakes, rattles, whatever, snakes or other hasharat will come and eat him up, and he will just die over there. So you don't have to kill. Actually, he'll die by his own, and we can go back and you say whatever you want to say. This was the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yusuf alayhi salam did not lose hope in the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did not lose the hope. His father did not lose the hope in that one too. Even though then when the sons came and they told the story, whatever the story they made up, they told the story, they did not believe. He did not believe in them. But he went quiet. He said, whatever the khair, wherever the khair is, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to bring the khair, and inshallah, with the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, things will turn around. Yusuf alayhi salam did not lose the hope at that moment. He could be eaten by the snake. He could be death by whatever, he could have miserable death. But he had hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's a long story. I'm not going to cover Surah Yusuf all, but you know the story. So just go back and read all that, right? So the point, what I'm trying to make is, let's not lose hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah took him out from there, and where he went after that, and what he become. He become the greatest of the ruler of that country, in a way that he was ruling. He was right next to the king, and he was the advisor of the king. And you know how it goes in all the story. Look at the example of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He went through desperation of moment. When you remember when he was the kuffar was after him. He and Abu Bakr, Sayyidina Abu Bakr, they took refuge in the cave, small enough, not even two people can fit in comfortably there. And it was so small, so visible in a way that when the kuffar came chasing him, because they announced, they said, well, if anyone will go and get the Muhammad, na'udhu billah, and bring him back so we can kill him or whatever, so he'll get the hundreds of horses or camels, whatever. People were desperately looking for him, and as they come close to the ghar, close to the cave where they were hiding, they just came right close, and their footsteps were right close there. And Sayyidina Abu Bakr got a little worried. He said, "Oh Rasulullah, if they see down their feet, they can spot us right there. We're right there." That was the response of Rasulullah. He said, "There are so many. With us, we are three." He said, "You, me, and with us is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah is a protector, who else can harm you?" And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected them from there, and they were not exposed. And you know how the whole story, there's a whole story to talk about. But he did not, even in desperation, he gave the hope to his ummah, his own people, that no, these things comes and go. These are the tests, trials, tribulations to check the iman, to check the faith of the Muslim. And any of those moments, if someone become weak and they give up the hope in the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring, that you're doing the kufr. You're negating the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is in control of all affairs. Yes, by face of faith, sometime in the face of calamity, face of destruction, we see and we say, well, why Allah is not sending the help? There's a greater plan for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When 9/11 happens, people were thinking about, no, that's going to be the end of it, right? There's so much trouble going on, and now Muslims are in trouble. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought the best out of it. What is the best out of it? People get to know Islam more. Actually, they were used to get to know more about Islam. And now we see a whole different way. Who people, educated people, because we are, some of us are born Muslim. I hate to say that some of us are born Muslim but uneducated from Islam as well, because we don't learn our own deen. The people who learn the deen and make a conscious choice, they are way better than the one who has unconscious choice of happen to be in that spot, right moment, or whatever, become Muslim. Because your father, my father, anyone was Muslim, and they give the birth, and we get the adhan, and we get the rituals, and go, there you go. If you don't learn beyond that, so we are doing the rituals. We are not understanding the actual purpose of this deen. Actual purpose of our existing is the dunya even. Why Allah sent us is dunya. You talk to the Muslims even, and you'll be amazed to hear the answer. They don't know what the purpose of us in the dunya. That's the basics of us. We should know that. What is the purpose of us in this dunya? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَا خَلَقْتَ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have created men and humans and jinn and men and insan to submit to me, submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what is the other purpose of having so many communities are? To have the ta'aruf, get to know each other. People look for miracles all the time. They said, you want to see the miracles. What else miracle you see? We all say we are from same source, right? Adam and Hawa. We're from Adam and Eve. And look at the different complexion, the language, all those. This is not the miracle, living miracle among you. Like we all are same, but at the same time we are a little bit different than each other. This is get to know each other better. You know, this is another purpose of us in dunya. Submit, first of all, submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And seek mercy of Allah. So let's not, in any weak moment, those are the time when actually Shaitan plays his role. He comes and he plays his role, and he catches us on the weaker of the moment. When there's a desperation going on, someone did not have a job for long, they got desperate and they said, well, I don't know what's happening, I'm not getting. So don't do the kufr. Don't have the kalimat al-kufr. Protect yourself. Seek the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take you out of that, whatever the test going on, and get you the better. And it's always maybe the case in everyone's life. You can see your own life. When something you saw or you want to have something done immediately right in front of you, you says you're so desperate. You says, if I get this one, I'll be so better off, and this is so good for me. Maybe Allah has a better plan for you. You won't get that. It never happens. It never materializes that way the way you want it. Maybe you want to get some job, that's not there. Maybe you want to get some business, you cannot get it. He says, it was so easy. I don't know what the maslahat is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah shows you. After a while, we ourselves experiences these things. He says, oh, if I would have gotten that, I would not have gotten what I'm getting now. So you can see, it's experiences everyone goes through. And this is the plan of Allah. This is the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah always look for the best. We look for what is in front of us. We immediately say, oh, I need to get this one. I need to take this one. I need to have this or whatever, Sometimes some people go through struggle of siha, like you have an illness going on and people get desperate and they say, oh Allah, when I'm going to get cured? Sometimes as the ulama says, as the Khabarin says, Allah loves the way you ask or plead to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah likes your love, the way of your ada, of your dua and all those. Allah says, keep on going. Keep on going. Because Allah loves that. And Allah has a khair in that. And Allah knows what the wusa for each individual is. Whenever that happens, Allah make it happen. Allah give the healing and whatever the best is for anyone. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give sihat to everyone who is ill anywhere going on in the world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, people says Quds is there, Palestine, we talk about it, Palestine, they are going through so much of suffering. Why there's no ease there? This is the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't know where the khair is. When khair is going to come for that whole resolution of that whole issue, Allah will bring the best of the best out of that. And obviously there are signs for that one that that's going to happen. Sometimes Muslims rule the earth or rule the world, and some when they have their own taqabbur and all those, Allah just stills a little bit and then change the equation sometimes. So there's a whole lot for that one. So inshallah, make dua. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring ease on all of Muslimin wherever they are going through any suffering. It could be health, it could be their, any suppression or oppression, whatever going on. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala eliminate all the suppression and oppression from them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us the best of this dunya and best of hereafter as well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring all of our families to the righteousness of Islam, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and make us one of those that we never ever give up hope in the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وقولوا قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم سائر المسلمين فاستغفر إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله الحمد لله استعينه واستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له واشهد لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله ارسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعه من يطيع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعصهما فانه لا يضر الا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملت الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم اغفر لي وللمؤمنين وللمؤمنات يوم يقوم الحساب. قال إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا ذرية قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافينا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما اعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت فانك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك انه لا يذل من وعليك ولا يعز من عاديت تبارك ربنا وتعالى. نستغفرك ونتوب اليك وصلى الله على نبي. اللهم اغفر لنا وللمؤمنين وللمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات وألف بين قلوبهم وأصلح ذات بينهم وانصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم. اللهم لعن الكفرة الذين يصدون عن سبيلك ويكذبون رسولك ويقاتلون أولياءك. اللهم خالف بين كلماتهم وزلزل أقدامهم وزلزل بهم بأسك الذين تردوا عن القوم المجرمين. عباد الله في سحابي لا تتخذوا غرضا من بعدكم من أحبهم بحب أحبهم ومن أبغضهم ببغض أبغضهم. وخير أمتي قرني ثم الذين يلونهم ثم الذين يلونهم. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. واذكروني أذكركم واشكروا على تقوم.